and welcome to Body Rehab Studios again. I'm Dawn, official physio for the Brighton Marathon. Today we're going to be talking about core stability. So you've probably heard a bit about core stability and lots of different ways of talking about it. As a runner, particularly for marathons or a 10K, which is going to last a significant period of time, we want to think about your low-level abdominal muscles working to keep your pelvis nice and still. You want to keep your pelvis still so that each bit of effort that you put out through your legs propels you forward rather than wobbling around through your pelvis and losing some of the effort that you're putting in. Also, if your pelvis is wobbly as you're hitting the ground each time, that can predispose you to some specific running injuries that we might think of. So ITB syndrome, that sort of runner's knee on the outside of the knee, can be really aggravated by having poor core stability. From a physio point of view, we can scan you here at the studio to look at your abdominals and see how they're working. And we're interested in one particular abdominal that's most important for when you're running. I can give you a brief overview today to try and give you a help. The abdominal muscle we're interested in is called transverse abdominis, and he's deep to all the other abdominal muscles that you use when you do a plank or anything like that. Generally, we think about engaging this muscle through your pelvic floor. So girls, it's like kind of as if you need a wee and you can't find a toilet, so you're just kind of lifting up inside a little bit, and boys, it's like you're sort of lifting your bit slightly up inside to create a bit of a tension down in your lower tummy. To make it appropriate for running, we want to look at how the leg movement affects that. So an easy exercise to do is to come and have a lie down on your back, and you're going to put your hands on the knobbly bits of your hips here. If you come an inch in and an inch down, you're going to take a breath in, a breath out, and engage through your core. So think about that pelvic floor contraction to about 4 out of 10 of what you could do maximally, and you'll feel a little tension under your fingertips. Then what we want to see is what happens when you add the running action to that. So if I engage my core, then I want to see if I can bring this up to 90 degrees and lower it down. Keep my pelvis super still and then switch to the other side. So when you're not as stable, what you'll find is as the leg comes up, you rotate to one side, and vice versa on this side, so you'll tend to rotate over. So a good thing to practice is that low level engaging your core, trying to keep that still as possible, and then coming up, imagining keeping your pelvis set in stone. If that feels okay to you, you can work a little bit more strongly. So if you come to here, engage your abdominals a little bit more strongly, again keep the pelvis still, and then see from there, can you dip down on either side without doming your tummy and arching away from the floor. If that's a struggle for you to start off with, you can make it a little bit easier. So if you put your feet up on something, I'm going to use our flashy art barrel, but you don't need one of these, the end of the sofa. If I come up from here, and then tap down, it's going to be a lot easier because I've made the lever nice and small. But the most important thing is that this stays flat and your back stays nice and still. You should only feel it in your abdominals and not your back. So they're two really easy ways just to have a look at what you're doing running technique-wise and keep your pelvis nice and steady. We do Pilates classes for runners here, and you guys can probably find a class like that near you. We do also, let me find it, have a Pilates for runners DVD that you can get from us, or it's online on Amazon called Pilates for Runners. But I would really think about on your rest days, rather than doing nothing at all, having a little delve into other exercises like that that could benefit your running would be really, really good to do. Good luck. Come in and see us if you need to.